What's up, people? Let's see if I can give some more light. So I'm at our terminal in Lancaster. I haven't been here. Well, I came picked up a load, but I haven't ever walked in the terminal in a long time. And I have to admit, the Lancaster yard always, even back when I was here back in 2010, was very organized and clean. It was never dirty, and inside actually clean. It looked even cleaner than when I was here before. There are certain terminals that I've gone to that are not. Phoenix Terminal, which is the main center, that one it's better than what it used to be, but chairs are broken, there's just stuff. And here they put in new AC little units, like what you do in a tiny home, the ones that go on the wall. I forgot to call them. Bathroom was exceptionally clean. I was impressed with that. Yeah, very clean, and the people working here. It's just very, very clean. I like the fact that it was clean. Even the yard don't have a lot of trash on it, not a lot of gunk, very well maintained. Only thing I'm not liking is the quick lane, because it really didn't explain where the quick lane starts and ends. So I got in quick lane. Well, I talked to the guy inside. He said, "We're gonna be able to see you till tomorrow." And I said, "Well, how late are you up until?" He said 11, but it ain't gonna be till tomorrow morning. I'm like, okay. He asked me what was wrong. I told him, and then I don't know, the way they had a quick lane, the doors are shut. So if you run until 11 o'clock, there's nobody letting me know, like coming in and out. So I have no idea. So I'm going to sit here in this line in the morning. When it opens, I'll deal with it, because they can't even really do anything with me today. Mad 14T or KT, 14 karat, I'm presuming is what it is. Or I think it's Mad 14. You made the comment that, the breakdown that's happening is giving me time to think. You are 100% correct. And actually, let me tell you how good things worked out. And I don't know whether the driver manager did it or she read what I sent. So I didn't realize today was Veterans Day, so I know there's limited staff at the terminal I'm based out of in Europa. And the lady who runs it, she's part of the fleet that I'm under. And so I sent an email to my driver manager thinking she was in today. She was not. She's a veteran, and I guess, holiday. I didn't even think about it. Out here, you do lose track of time, and holidays, I lose track of that. I ended up, not what it was. Oh, I ended up, got his phone in the hand and turning the wheel. Yeah. Day cab driver. Anyway, I ended up, they fixed the leak. He showed me the leak. I showed you that. They got that fixed. We had to wait for everything to build up. He put new coolant in, filled up my bottle of coolant, so I'd have it on hand. The issue with the air gauge is still happening. So I'm just going to sit here. I presume I'm going to sit here, and in the morning we can deal with everything. It's cold as hell. They got freezing things. So right now it is, let's see what it is here. It's 40, but it was down to 39. It may get even colder than that tonight. So we'll have to see. It's just going to leave it. It's going to idle tonight. I got Italian food for dinner. I wanted Chinese, but the Chinese restaurants that I called weren't picking up. And then one of them came in. I was like, oh well, I was going to get some shrimp and broccoli. That's right. If I'm stuck here tomorrow, I'll do that. Anyway, I sent an email over, and I explained everything going on. I do pictures, so that I'm a person, and it's just because how I manage, I don't ever want there to be a question about, it's like a series of unfortunate events, but you don't want people thinking you're making it up because you just don't do nothing. So I always send pictures of stuff, because there's drivers who get over. I ain't gonna lie. And so I sent pictures of everything going on. I even filmed a buzzer thing. So I sent her an email telling her everything that's going on. She pushed my PTA out, told her I got to go to Lancaster. The guy that I talked to, Joe, asked him to put something on Qualcomm. He ain't put nothing on Qualcomm. Talking about he sends a person. I don't know, because every time something usually is done, I get a copy of it on the Qualcomm. I don't like that. Oh, I'm sending it to him behind the scenes. No. So I document the conversation. I don't be trusting folks, especially in trucking. It's Shady McLaughlin. So I went ahead and sent a message over everything, who I spoke to, what this Joe said, blah, 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 blah. Told her about the airline issue, what was going on with the gauge, explained what's going on. So, originally, I was supposed to bring that trailer back here to this terminal. I talked to Bill. Bill said, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No." He said, "They won't let them fix it there at TA." I said, "Man, it's cheap." I said, they want to fix it there at the yard in Lancaster because they can do it themselves, and they might Band-Aid fix it. They do some Band-Aid fixes. Sometimes they'll do legitimate fixes, and I can't say that for every yard. Phoenix does a lot of Band-Aid fixes. Because they let me leave out with this truck. I got one of my brake chambers is starting to go down, and it didn't, like, they have a sheet. I'm going to have to find that sheet, because I got the sheet here on the truck. And they do, like, your B service and your cow bid inspection and check off pass or do not pass. Or pass or fail. And a lot of stuff that failed, talking about, oh, we're going to wait till your next. Why can't you replace that brake chamber right now? Or that brake drum right now? Or padding or whatever it was. Crazy as hell. I just, and that's, it's just like I picked the trailer up from them. I had a trailer, and I picked it up, and it went up, and I picked it up on, I forget where I picked that trailer up at. And we couldn't slide the tandems on the trailer. And and I had a student, that's the student I had to get rid of. That's the student I had to end up getting rid of because he was talking to himself. He the one that requested off the truck. The first student I had. Well, thank God I got rid of him because he would have flipped the trailer. The way he drove curves and turns and stuff, he would have rolled us. They had an airbag on the trailer. They had probably got from another wrecked trailer, put it on this trailer that was not even a matching airbag. So when it was going to inflate, it was overinflating. Do you know that would have flipped that damn truck? Anyway, lots of issues, and I ended up having to go to a trailer shop where they found out that, and then they had done so much band-aiding on the trailer. They had done the what's it called? It's a valve that inflates, helps with your inflation with the air. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it had been welded so many times, they couldn't even weld it anymore. They had to create a whole new piece. But I have had some terminals through this company who've done phenomenal. And the one terminal that did really good on my repairs for me on a B service was their Wisconsin terminal. It's a very small, really more of a drop yard. It's a small terminal. But there was a guy, when I had the other 2017, when I first came back, everything that he saw incorrect on that truck was fixed. Wasn't no, oh, we're going to wait till the next B. None of that BS. They fixed it. And I mean, minor stuff too. I was like, what? I mean, excellent job. Stuff that I was like, oh, okay. Excellent job. Now, I don't know, and I don't know if it's due to the completion of the merger, because that was prior to the merger completion that I had that happen. But they've streamlined so much stuff now. I don't know if it's that. Although Phoenix, I used to go to Phoenix to get, I thought Phoenix used to do a very thorough job. This shop is open till 11 o'clock at night. I don't think Phoenix is open that late, which I found funny because Phoenix is the main hub. But this Lancaster yard is open late. They said they're open till 11. I have no idea. I'm going to deal with everything in the morning, though, unless they come up here and knock on this truck. What else was I going to tell you? I was going to tell y'all something else. I forgot to tell y'all. But yeah, so what happened was they didn't have me bring the trailer back. They had somebody bobtail from the terminal here all the way to the truck stop I was at, and they took the load. So that made it so I had to bobtail here, not putting me attached to a trailer, which Bill was concerned about when we talked, because he said, wait a minute. He said, he going to ask you, did the trailer pressure build back up? I said, yeah. On the gauge, knowing that gauge could go out at any time and then tell you to drive the trailer all the way back to that yard. He said, that's crazy as hell. I said, told you. He said, if you don't feel safe to do that, don't do that. He said, because that right there is stupid as hell. If you tell them you have an airline issue, they either fix that where it's at, especially if you have to tow a trailer, and they know that that's the gauge or the issue that's happening. So I don't know if the driver and manager listened and then she made that decision, or if it was just happenstance. It could just be happenstance. So, but it's okay, because I figure God is in control. He knows better than I do. And we ended up, the guy came and got the trailer. I was able to bobtail here. So my issue is the trailer gauge. But Mad 14K, you gave me, you said that gives you time to think. You are 100% correct. Matter of fact, not only did it give me time to think, yesterday I watched a YouTube video by another lady trucker that was just phenomenal. And in her video, she was talking about the purpose, what your purpose is, what your goals are, and if there's anything holding you back, if you're trying to make a decision, Christian lady, trying to make that move. And you know, it was a very we kind of think, I didn't realize we thought as much on the same level on spiritual things that we do. And she was talking about a lot, because she lost a daughter to a drunk driver, how that changed her life, how there were certain things that she needed to move in, and that took place in order to kind of push her into where she was supposed to be doing. And you know, like I told you, out of bad comes good. Y'all, I can't explain it to you, but out of bad comes good. So things that are happening right now, because I've had, like I was telling my father today, we were talking about it, I was talking to Trucker Bill about the fact this company doesn't pay you when you're broke down. And Bill just started laughing. And my father said, that don't make no damn sense. If it's breakdown pay, they should be paying you. I said, they don't. They don't. And it's like right now I'm here, and I don't know if this is a G status or not. I went around just in case this truck, if whatever this issue is, if it has to go to Freightliner, then what ends up happening, they'll only pay for me 3 days breakdown pay, and then they want to put me in another truck. The problem is Lancaster, back even when I was here before, was famous for not having trucks. And if they did have trucks, they were usually, I'm just saying. So that's another thing. And I was like, told my dad, I said, look, I'm not going into another crappy truck. You know, this was, when I got to Phoenix, I went through like 4 days or 3 or 4 days of waiting because, oh, well, that truck don't work for you. Come back tomorrow. We might have another. Because they refused to sign out, and they had ready available new trucks, 2018, 19s, but they refused to sign it out to me. And, you know, one kid said he waited 4 or 5 days. It's a game, and it's an ignorant, crazy ass, dumbass game, because you need to move freight. And, you know, I'm going to say this, and like there's certain terminals I won't go to. Like I don't want them ever to touch the truck based on certain treatment. And when we and the TV watcher girl went out, we ended at one of the terminals. And I'm going to see how I can say this without being too much of an asshole, but I'm very direct. I believe that this company and certain companies like it need to do, if they truly want to change, they need to do what's called secret shopper, like you do in retail. And you need to send people out, of different ethnic backgrounds, different gender backgrounds. So you need to send out a white female, a white male, a black female, a black male, a Latino male, and a Latino female in a truck with an issue, and send them to these shops. You also need to send them and see how they're treated when they get to the terminals, and see if you can find the differences. Okay? And I can almost guarantee you're going to see a difference. There was a story years ago when I was here that, and because I told you there are certain terminals that cater to certain ethnic groups, okay? There's a story about, I guess back then, the quote-unquote owner dude going down, getting in a truck, driving down to, I think it was El Paso, to that terminal. When he got there were drivers that were sitting around that were waiting on loads, whereas a certain other group of drivers were given loads. And those drivers, A, were based out of that terminal, and B, were of a certain persuasion. So all of a sudden some stuff changed, because so they were keeping the freight for their drivers that were coming through. It was a hot mess. It's done still, but in a different way. And you need to find out who's doing what. The other thing you want to find out is the quality of your work. If I'm sending trucks that need to be repaired and there's issues, I need to know the quality of the work. You know, if this guy turns in front of me and he does the same thing, I'm going to go on up to this door because I don't know. I thought they supposed to come get you. I have no idea. But the quality of the work. So, I don't know. I really think they need to do Secret Shopper and come in here and see, and that will tell them how some crap is run at every one of their terminals. They also need to go out here and go pick up some of this equipment. Pick up some of these trailers that are raggedy as hell. You know, it's like I was showing y'all how I was showing y'all how I picked up, you know, like I went and picked up this trailer's raggedy as hell. They need to go pick up some trailers that's raggedy as hell. And find out exactly what we are truly dealing with. And they haven't, I haven't seen that being done. I'm just picking up low. I haven't seen that. So, okay, he just pulled something out the trash. I'm going to presume I might supposed to be going to roll up here and talk to this man. But they don't have nothing that really indicates that. The day cab driver just drove up to the door and then went inside. Normally, you get in line, you wait here until they call you forward at every other terminal. And this is the other thing. Consistency. I believe there should be consistency across the terminals. So, example, I think one of the pluses is being able to have like one of the vans to go to the store or whatever. They have 2 vans in Utah. I think we should have that here. But granted, we have what's that called? We now have personal companions, which is a good thing. But I really believe they need to have that here. This other thing. There's just some things that they need to have consistent among all the terminals. Like at the Europa yard, when you call a load, they want you to bring the paperwork in. Every other yard, you leave the paperwork on the trailer. That needs to be consistency among crosses. Just put it on the trailer. Y'all put it in the system. I don't feel like walking into the window, and I can move on. It's consistency, but it's okay. It's okay. I get it. I get it more than y'all even begin to know. DeeBoy Stance. Anyway, y'all, this is my last check-in for tonight. I know I've been doing videos all day, but yeah, I think they need to do it. If you want to make your company better, do some. Y'all need to hire some, and I almost think you need to do independent, like an independent group. Not anybody associated with the company. Somebody, like a totally independent group, to come in and do Secret Shopper on their ass. And see what the differences are and have that company critique you. What's the name? Arthur Anderson, before they got caught up in the scandal with the whole housing market and the stock thing. They used to do that to companies. They would go in, and they were the ones that were hired to go in and restructure companies. Until they got caught up in shady McLaughlin stuff. But they would go in and send people in just to work in a company. And the people would know that these people were part of Arthur Anderson, and they were analyzing who did their job, how they did their job, if there were any issues, and they would cut jobs based on what they saw. It's a very smart move. It's a smart move, and it analyzes how a business is operating, how well the machine is oiled. Smart move. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The company I'm looking at now, if I could get in, they have APUs on their company as well as their lease purchase trucks, which I like. All the trucks have APUs on it. And then Shaw's company doesn't, but he most likely would end up with possibly newer equipment. And I was just really impressed with how well maintained their reefers were. You should see the stuff I carry. It's depressing. It really is. Like I said, the sad part is that I like the driver manager ladies. that I deal with. I have two of them I like dealing with, but Man 14, you right, it gave me some. This made me think, because I mean I've just spent. What did I spend? Saturday, so Friday I left out, stayed at the TA in Dallas, overnight in the security yard. Woke up in the morning, saw the fluid on the ground. It looked like it wasn't from me, but I wasn't sure. Realized that the truck was leaking on Saturday. Got to a TA hoping for a quick fix. That didn't turn a fix. So Saturday, Sunday, we're now on Mondays. That's 3 days broke down. I get no pay other than the miles I gain from going to get the load, getting the load to the TA in Denton. Okay? So, won't get nothing else. Sweet Jesus. Now I'm here at this terminal, so I do get breakdown pay probably for today. I don't know how they calculate it. I possibly get breakdown pay for tomorrow, and then I just gotta pray they get this fixed within a timely fashion, because there's not shit that I'm seeing on this yard that I'm driving out of this yard with. If it ain't 18 or newer, I'm not. I can't. It's just done. And I don't want shit that's been in no accident. And you can look at the ones and see the ones that's been in accidents. Like this one over here, that bumper is not the original bumper, I don't think. That's been in some sort of accident. And he's a diamond driver, but it looks like it's been in an accident because it's a different bumper. I could be wrong. It's a 19, so the 19s could have the white bumper. I know the 18s had the black ones. Y'all, let me decompress. I'm gonna decompress. And I just don't believe God, because I'm like, I told my dad, I said, man, I don't know. Another company I worked at, if this would have happened, I would have got like $200 off the bat for safety. They're like, Pride would just send you. That was the good part about Pride. If you did something they deemed safe, they rewarded it immediately. I'll tell y'all a quick story, and then I'm going to get my butt off here. When me and my boy Mike were teaming, and this is why the way they do things is not good, because you got a lot of people that do unsafe shit. When me and my boy Mike were teaming, Mike, we had a trailer we picked up, and the landing gear, when we were on the East Coast. We drove had a nice run too. I think we went from Arizona all the way to the East Coast. It was like New York, somewhere like that. And we ended up in this New York State, and we ended up in this really, really tight ass area. We were supposed to drop the trailer and then go pick up another trailer. When we went to go, we dropped the trailer where he dropped it, we won't go there. But we went to go pick up the other trailer. Was it loaded or not loaded? I can't remember. We dropped one trailer and went to go pick up this other trailer. I can't remember if it was loaded or not. But what happened is one of the legs was raised and the other one stayed down. Mike's like, Shane, we just gonna take it like this. No, the hell we not. Because Mike got into the habit of what everybody else was doing, chasing the money. And he would take broke down stuff. He would drive stuff. But then his safety rating was not like mine. My safety rating was better, but I wasn't making as much money as he was doing. Because Mike would take the safety risk for the money. And that's what happens to a lot of these people out here with this company. And it was this company. Is because if you have broken stuff and you don't reward your people or acknowledge your people for taking the safe measure, and they chasing the dollars. That's why when you break down, they should pay you, okay? Because now what I'm saying to you is I'm not going to pay you, so the person says, you know what, shit, I ain't going to make no money. I'm just going to go ahead and take this broken piece of equipment, and I'm just going to take the risk. That risk them, the motoring public. They're not looking at that. They're looking at the dollars first, because you don't know nobody's situation. But out here, if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't making the money. So they're gonna take the risk, opposed to say, okay, I ain't gonna make the money, but I'm gonna go ahead and stay safe. There needs to be a complete revamp. And right now, I can sit down. Put my management hat on, and let's start from the bottom I start from the top to the bottom. We could, and Mm, mm, mm. So, Mad 14K, yes, I did do some thinking. And I got a lot to do in a very short amount of time to do it. Anyway, y'all, I got to talk to DeeBoy Stance because I got to ask some questions about her previous company because that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, y'all be blessed. Alright, I normally don't record the video this way, y'all, but I'm going to record it this way today. First of all, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Got one of my TheTrucker shirts on. This morning's an interesting morning. So the truck, first of all, I'm going to do some rambles on this. And the rambles are going to probably get into the conversation I say we're not really ever supposed to have, but for whatever reason, I feel kind of led to talk about that this morning because I woke up to a video and it's been on my mind actually. So, ashy lips, y'all, ashy lips. My hands might be ashy right now. So, a lot of things happened over the weekend, so y'all know the truck was broke down. So let's deal with that, and I'm going to get into some rambles here in a minute. Divine intervention, divine intervention, divine intervention. So, we know that the issue was with the coolant. But see, I believe God, and if I could tell y'all stories on my life, even health stuff, how God let one health issue happen in order to discover some other health issues. I almost checked out. Was laying in a casket at the age of 29. I had some really bad health issues happen to me, and I wasn't even this big. I was probably a quarter of this size back then. And some of the weight has to do with probably how I raised. Some of it has to do with the fact I had a hysterectomy when I was 29. I had some very bad female issues, and then I had some hereditary issues that I did not know about that manifested at the same time. But everything happens for a reason has been my view. And I think that's why a lot of my viewpoint changed on a lot of stuff. And I took a different stance on things. And I really started, even though I've loved God since I was a kid, I really started to realize how much His hand was in my life. So divine intervention, I think it was Mad 14. You said that? Yes, 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 and more yes. So let me tell y'all what happened and put two and two together. So some people, y'all just see life and y'all on this treadmill and you just ride the bike and you're not connecting the dots. So I want y'all to start looking at your life and connect the dots. As we get older, I think we all of a sudden realize when we look back over our life how God's hand, and you know, y'all call it what you want, I believe it's God of the Bible, His hand has been divinely interwoven in our lives. So those things that make us go left instead of go right instead of go left, those things, or if we go left, how He veers us back to right. I mean, it's just divine intervention. I had that trailer, so y'all knew the breakdown with the trailer, and it was an airline relay valve, so I had that fixed. Well, I usually idle my truck because I'm on CPAP, so, and if it's hot, I idle. I'm not going to sit here and sweat. So I had not turned off the truck to where I knew that there was an issue with the airlines, okay? And I don't even know if it happened immediately, so I don't know when it happened. But as I got on the trip with the truck and I turned it off one night when it was getting cold and I was using the bunk heater, all of a sudden I realized when I turned it back on that the air gauge was not working properly, that it was started at 0. I initially thought it had to do with the trailer that I had because I had not been detached from the same trailer that had the repairs. And I figured that there's either a slow leak or some malfunction or it was just off. And I didn't really delve into it immediately because as soon as you turn the truck on, the air pressure would build up and it would hold. God is good. So next thing I know, I go on, take the trailer, deliver the load. Then I get the next load that I'm picking up. I'm going to go get that next load. I did a shutdown, a reset, and in Houston, met up with Shy. He was picking up a load, so I got a reset out of it because I needed a reset. Because as y'all know, solo drivers, we run through hours a lot quicker than teams. Teams can roll hours. And so I got a reset out of it. Oh, sweet Jesus. Got the load, headed from Houston to Dallas. Stayed because I was going to Grand Prairie to pick up the load. which was a load that was going to Wally World in Oklahoma. Stayed 30 minutes outside of the shipper. When I woke up in the morning, that's when I saw what was looked like coolant on the ground. Just connected the dots. I wasn't sure if it was my truck or the truck next to me, but I looked in the hood. I had coolant. Granted, it was lower than what I recalled it being, you know, but it was still at the min level, so I was like, fine, maybe I've used that. Started rolling towards the destination, got the low coolant warning. By the time I got to the shipper, had a little bit of coolant, put the minimum coolant in there. Actually, no, I stopped to go to the bathroom. That's where I got the low coolant warning. Put a little bit of coolant in there and then rolled to the shipper. Luckily, I stopped at that location because I saw that they had coolant available for the truck in case it was an issue. Because that was always, you know, driving, you just got to have in your back of your mind doing this job. The truck stop I stopped at was literally 10-15 minutes from the shipper. So stopped there, went to the bathroom, got something to drink, and then rolled on up to the shipper. Checked in with the shipper, didn't take them long. It's a very light load, didn't have a lot on there. They packaged all that stuff on there, shut everything up, headed out, and not even 10 minutes to the truck stop I had stopped at earlier to go to the bathroom. Lo and behold, the low coolant warning and check engine light come on. I'm praying, Lord, get me, because I don't want to break down in the freeway. Dallas has a lot of, Texas in general has a lot of freeway construction. So Dallas has a lot of freeway construction going on. Where I was at, I was coming out of freeway construction, and that would not have been the best place to break down. So I was like, Lord, please let me get to this little truck stop. I made it to the off-ramp of where I was supposed to turn, and the truck stalled. Was able to hold the wheel, get me veered over to the lane, get hazards on, turn the truck off, waited a minute, turn the truck on, got it running, got it over to the truck stop. This truck stop didn't have any repair facility, but it had coolant, and it said I had like one bottle of trucking coolant on the shelf, y'all. I'm telling you, y'all won't believe if I told y'all half of this. One bottle of trucking coolant on the shelf. That was it. I went ahead, got that bottle of trucking coolant, went out to the truck and poured that entire bottle in. So I had pretty much topped off coolant. Got in here, and then I made a judgment call. Do I go backwards to Lancaster, which is our terminal, or do I keep going towards the destination and just stop at a TA and let breakdown do a quick, what I'm hoping to be a quick fix? So, lo and behold, I went ahead and started heading to the destination thinking it's going to be just a quick fix, replace the hose, and just go. And unfortunately, I didn't have a hose, so I broke down there at that TA. But the plus is I had to drop the trailer. So when I detached from the trailer, the air gauge for the tractor, or for the trailer, is still doing the same weird thing, starting at 0, in alarm mode, and then building up. That shouldn't be happening, especially detached from the trailer. So now I know the trailer's not my issue, the truck is.
Home. Messaging.
Okay?
You have 8 hours and 0 minutes of remaining drive time.
So the trailer's not my issue, the truck is the issue. I end up going ahead and excuse me, y'all. I end up dropping and realize it's a problem. So told me I had to order this. So finally I called breakdown when I said, well, I'm gonna deal with this afterwards, but I realized that this problem was happening regardless. So I called breakdown and like, no, you gotta take it to the terminal. Because I'm figuring if I get it stuck at the terminal, usually stuck at the terminal in 2 or 3 days with repairs, some of the terminals. Although I'm really impressed with the Lancaster terminal. It was so clean. I mean, even the shop, it looked like you could eat off that floor. It was so clean. I'm almost thinking, and y'all forgive me, I know I might have males who watch this too. I'm almost thinking a woman runs that damn terminal. Because that terminal, the yard is clean, the shop is clean, the driver's lounge is clean, the toilets were clean, the bathroom and showers were... I have not been, the only terminal inside to me that's that clean is Yoruba. The next one would be Salt Lake. Salt Lake shop is very organized too, but the cleanest shop I've ever, I mean, it literally looked like, and I sent pictures to my driver. She's like, it reminds me where you get the really expensive tires. It does. It reminds you where you go to where they do the custom cars and they keep this really impeccable shop. It was that clean, y'all. It was clean. I said, I said, do y'all do any work? Do y'all do any work in this shop? Because it's that clean. But anyway, they got me in. They got me fixed yesterday. Let me tell y'all what it was. And this tells you how critical, whenever you have an airline issue, deal with that immediately. Don't wait. It had nothing to do with what they did for that tractor. It was my airline underneath the tractor. Underneath the tractor was going bad that connects to the trailer. Had that going bad on me, it would have locked the brakes, could have locked the trailer in the middle of the freeway. Safety first, y'all. Back to a subject. So, this morning I woke up, and y'all know I told y'all race is not something I usually want to talk about. Politics is something I don't talk about. And I'm trying to talk about them not in a way to cause a divide, but hopefully an awakening. The young folks say, are you woke? That's what they say. I can't believe I'm saying the young folks. The young folks say, are you woke? Years ago, I set up and I watched, and everybody knows Oprah. I mean, you know from another planet if you don't know Oprah. So Oprah had a show on, and there was a lady she had on there, and I hate color, so white. I'm starting using this terminology. When I grew up, it was called Anglo-Saxon. It was the more politically correct term for somebody who was of a European descent that may have skin color that's white. Okay, so Anglo-Saxon, white. Jane Elliot was an Anglo-Saxon woman, or quote-unquote, what we call white in America. And I remember the show. It stood out to me years ago because I remember using pantyhose, the nude and pantyhose, and then the clips that I'm gonna put some clips below. She used. I'm gonna put the old clip of her on Oprah. I don't know if that's the same one because I don't remember this particular show. So I don't know if she's on there another time, but I remember her using pantyhose. And I watched it this morning. I found what I could on YouTube for it. So this morning when I got up, one of the people from my old church, she put a video up, and I don't know if y'all have watched Jada Pinkett Smith's the Red Table, which is actually a good little series. And it's challenged me because sometimes, and I told you, we all are guilty of prejudging. Sometimes we prejudge people, and I'm sorry, the truck is regenerating. I prejudged a force regime. I prejudged. She's an actress, Gabrielle Union. I was not that I'm a fan of hers. She wasn't an actress that I really followed, but I watched some of her shows, and I was like, I was never a huge. I don't know why I felt uppity, like she's uppity, and I was like, I watched some of her stuff, you know. But when she interviewed with Jada Pinkett Smith and she talked about being a hashtag #MeToo survivor, that she's working this little job and got raped, I then understood what I was identifying with that I didn't like about her. And what happens is that anytime you're a sexual, and this is not where I'm really going, but anytime you're a sexual victim, you can go a lot of different directions. Some people become very promiscuous. Oprah talked about that because that's something that happened with her. Some people become prostitutes. Some people become strippers. Some people get into an alternative lifestyle. I mean, there's 51 million reasons, things that can happen. And people who are in the game, I'm not gay because okay, that's you. But there are, I know several, who things happen and for whatever reason we have that connection between being a hashtag me person who has had some kind of sexual issue that happened to us and then ending up in an alternative lifestyle. I know that I have a huge turnoff for males because of things with my stepfather. I just know, and even my biological father, how he looks at females, it makes me want to curl. Because it's to me, and what God has had to really deal with me is you're looking at males, grown males. That's not a grown man. So he showed me later on the difference between a man and a male. And there is a huge difference. I have respect for a man. I can't stand grown males. They irk the shit out of me. Honestly. They're just disgusting. And he showed me the difference between the two, because a man learns how to control that, whatever that sexual urge they have, and to be respectful of women and to see them as women. They respect females. They don't disrespect them. They don't look at them just as sexual objects. And that's the difference. Also, a woman is somebody who will identify what a man is instead of settling for a male. Because there's a lot of females who are with males. They grown females, and all they did is a male, like that gold-tooth dude, smiled at them, said some things, and they paid them 2 ounces of attention, and the next thing you know, they done hooked up with this nutty box, who's either messing around on them, beating their ass, doing a whole bunch of bad stuff. And they settle down with them because of their own insecurities and the lack of the fact that they're not a woman yet. They're just a female. And don't get me wrong, you can convert from being some pervy male to being a man. It's something usually you have to trigger. Same way with being a female. You can go from being a grown female to being a woman, okay? So that's some rant. So back onto the topic. So the round table she did was to deal with, quote unquote, you know, I don't like the word term, white women, and the divide between basically white women and African American or minority women, black women. Which made my mind go back to the show, or to the talk show that I heard. I don't know if it was Clay Kane. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Clay Kane on Urban View, or, and it's radio, Sirius Satellite Radio, or I don't think it was Karen Hunter. It could have been, but I don't think it was Karen. It was a guy. I think it was either Clay Kane, or if it wasn't Clay Kane, it was, what's the other person's name? If it wasn't Clay Kane, it was the Golden Eagle dude, Madison. Okay, I think it's Joe Madison. So it was one of them two. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's back the train up here. Okay, he going way too fast in this parking lot. We're in the Walmart parking lot. We're going to Walmart and get a few things. And this SRT driver just came up in here, and he's driving way too fast in this parking lot. Too much damn testosterone. Well, way too fast. There's cars here, and oh my God, anyway, I don't have a comment. So anyway, lo and behold, here's what transpired. On the show, she had Jane Elliott. I had not seen Jane Elliott since the Oprah days. If y'all ain't never checked her out, I'm going to put links below for her on Oprah, but there's other stuff you can find her on. Jane Elliott is the bomb. Okay? She did an experiment years ago, what they call the blue and brown eye experiment, with mainly white kids in a classroom. She's an educator. What she did it for was to find out, to show how race has been used to belittle and demean. She also gives you history on how people came about, and that, and I love her because she said we all came from folks of color and we all are cousins. Biblically, this is very true. I mean, it just kills me because a lot of people claim to be Christians, like some of your people who may be into racial divide here in the U.S. claim to be Christian, but yet you see yourself so different from me, but you forget that our Bible tells us that our first parents were Adam and Eve. And you can't go back to the flood because God did not wipe out all of mankind. He kept Noah and Noah's family, and man then developed off of that. We family, y'all. And it tells us about Babel, where things were split and did the divide. I mean, oh, sweet Jesus. It takes so much. It is. It's just like, pick up a book, y'all. And I hear, it's funny because I hear them talking about that on the Urban View, is how people don't want to educate themselves. We don't read anymore. We want to go on to YouTube and just watch stuff, and that's what's educate us. And what's funny is that on one of the shows, they showed her talking about a book that she said is one of the best books you can read. They flashed on it, flashed off of it, so I got to go look it up. It has something to do with race. I got to go find this book on Amazon if I can, and I'm ordering that bad boy. But a great, 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 great show. The lady is amazing. So back to my subject at hand. On the show, she dealt with a lot of racial issues that happen here in our world and how we got there, okay? And so what she did was she challenged them and got on there talking. And she calls herself a B. She's a piece of work, but I like her because she's pushy. But she has a heart for people. That's what I really like about her even more, okay? Jane Elliott has a big heart for people, in my humble opinion. Now, on the show, what she did, sorry, I'm watching folks. On the show, see, Warner has a van that bring their people here. So did, is it SRT or FFE? They got a van that bring their people here. But we do have personal conveyance, so I personal convey my butt over here. I'm going to Cracker Barrel when I'm done. They got a Whataburger too. I love Whataburger, but I think I want a Cracker Barrel. I think I want to sit down and get out the truck and sit at the table. They dealt with the racial issue between women, which you would think it shouldn't be there, because what on the urban view, what they dealt with was the fact that they didn't understand why so many quote-unquote Anglo-Saxon white women voted for Trump. They didn't understand why they supported it. Now, I understand in my own way, because I believe Anglo-Saxon women, they identify more with their white side than they do their female side. Also, I hate to say it, their white males, even from the slavery time, tried to make them feel like they were, how can I put this? One of the reasons they used to kill and hang black men who looked at white women the wrong way or spoke to white women, they tried to, A, they were intimidated by the black male. But B, it also created a mindset of almost treating her like she was the queen of the kingdom. And even though they may not truly respect her in that way as a female, they did just enough. So she didn't realize her minority status as a woman and looked at her majority status as being white. Okay, or her major status. I don't like majority, but her major status as being white. So they deal with this issue, and the way she deals with it is so poetic. And what kills me is women in general, and basically when you have a woman who just says ignorant stuff. Like the one woman who justified that if Kavanaugh had done the things he had done, and she had 2 daughters, this is an Anglo-Saxon white woman, had stated that, oh, that's just what guys do. So she's basically supporting a white male or an Anglo male to support his behavior, and that's just, no, that's not normal. It's not normal for a kid to be almost raped or almost raped anybody. That's not normal. Something's wrong. And for you to justify that behavior, to justify your position, we're justifying behaviors to justify positions. Dangerous, 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 dangerous. Meaning, and Christians are doing that right now. So we'll get behind bad behavior in order to justify and to cover or to get what we want. I saw it a lot in business, which is one of the reasons I'm driving a truck now. I sat in rooms with people I even got set up a couple times. But one had nothing to do with my color. It had to do with my, but I never told anybody, even, guess you look at me and guess, but I deal with my alternative lifestyle. And I got set up on it. But at the time, there were no rights for it. And so that was used in order to get me out the door. And I'm manager of the order on the wall. But the setup happened. So you have people who, because they wanted someone else, and granted, I think they couldn't come after color, so they came after that. I mean, it's smart. The way they did it was intelligent. At the time, there were no equal opportunity rights for people of alternative lifestyle, for the LGBTQ community. There was nothing. Zero. That's why I said I believe everybody has a right to work, eat, live. And I believe now when we get into Christian things on it, God has set rules on it, and you got to deal with that how you deal with that. I've decided to take the Bible stance as I see it and make choices for my life. That's just me. I'm not going to sit here and force that on everybody else because I can't. I can tell you that's just how I see it. That's how I read it. I can't find any in it, and I've tried. Trust me, I tried. Okay. So, in her talking about it, it just really got me this morning. So here's my thing, and this is my view. Anglo or white women have seen their privilege of being white, and they don't see their womanhood as that of being a minority status. They see their the major thing that puts them in the higher echelons as that being above people of ethnic background. Not all. I know not never am all person, but quite a few. We are entrenched, whether you are African American, whether you're Latino American, whether you're Native American, whether you're Anglo American, meaning white, regardless of your nationality, if you grew up in our public school systems here, we are automatically entrenched in a negative mindset and a biased mindset when it comes to ethnicity, okay, race, colors. We're also, even though it's never dealt with, even entrenched in gender bias when it comes to male and female. And I'm not going to get into the T and Q. I'm not going to get into that. I'm talking about male, female. We're already biased there too. Males tend to have a more powerful position. They tend to be, especially white males or Anglo males, tend to have a stronger stance in the American public when it comes to, and in our history, when it comes to their status. All these things have played a role in my personal opinion, in the divide between women, especially those white women and women of color. And I'm going to say women of color because white women still, I think they think they're better in some ways. And the reason is because they have been told that their status of being white throughout time, even in a non-straightforward manner, but in a more covert way. And I like the word covert. Got the Oklahoma County. What covert means? It means an underhanded, slick willy way of not saying something, but saying something. Okay? So a more covert way in which it has been interwoven into our society. Okay? And it happens through our school system. And what I love is the fact she talked about how discriminatory and how our school system is set to continue to teach a biased racial divide. It just really is. She also dealt with my comment regarding the fact there is no such thing as race, is human race. And in, it was either Oprah show or one of the shows, or either on the Red Table, she talked about when the whole race thing was introduced, which is mind-numbing. This one went back to date and history. Phenomenal. Phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. So I'm going to put the Red Table link below. That was actually very good. I'm going to put that below. And then, yeah, very, very good. So I'm going to put that down, and hopefully y'all can watch that. And then I'm going to go in here and go shopping. But I'm going to uplink this, and I just want y'all to think. And I normally don't talk on race, but something's in my craw lately. For whatever reason, when I ramble, it gets my mind. I have so some people, this Tommy Boy, asked to see who I was outside of the truck. So I'm going to give you, and I think it's just to see who I am as a person. Real quick, let me tell you one person I am. I'm extremely analytical. I mean, I analyze the hell out of a situation, which is probably why I did good in technical positions and in management, because I analyze something and I analyze situations backwards. So I analyze situations, like when I even dealt with my reps back in the day, I knew how to intermingle. Like, I knew my reps who were full of BS, and I knew my reps who were really there to do a job. I had one guy, he was doing construction with his dad, so he called out, and I was like, I'm really not worried about you, because he was so fun. He said, I don't want to lie to you. And he reminded me of myself. He's like, I'm going to make more money helping my dad with this today than I'm going to make sitting there. And I said, all I ask, and if you decide to tell me this, because I have to follow the rules of the company, is that once your attendance gets into a questionable status, you may have to make some decisions. Because I'm going to have to follow what I found. But thank you for being honest. He was honest. He was honest. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to blend this up later with another video, and y'all can hear me ramble. So, God bless y'all. But yeah, divine intervention. And y'all, read. Please start reading. And stop following this BS. I was in the terminal the other day, and man, yeah, he should have cooked Costa out. No, he shouldn't have. We have free press in America. And regardless of what they write, they have the right to do it because it's free press. Otherwise, we are going back to a society that's controlled by one thought process. And I'm sorry, that gets into some Hitler stuff that we don't want. We don't want Hitler. We don't want Stalin. We don't want a communist regime. We want to be the free will, God-given society that we are. Now, there's some things we've done that may not line up with what God wants for our country. And those things are being addressed in their own way. Like I said, out of all bad comes some good. They're going to be addressed one way or another. Are we going to answer? We're going to talk to the piper. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, that means peace, peace, shalom. That means peace, all internal peace, whole peace, body peace, healing peace, all the peace you need. Y'all be blessed. 2 and 2. I don't know if y'all can see that. So I don't know if he got pulled in or not. But all of a sudden I saw Sierra England. I just looked up. I was eating some food, and then I saw Lancaster PD pull in. And it looks like he's doing a damn DOT inspection on his truck. He threw something underneath it, like he's going to examine the brakes and stuff. And then Sierra England, they walking around the truck, but he pulled up. I didn't see no lights come on, so I don't know if he pulled him off the freeway or if he's just sitting there. I just looked up and saw the Sierra England driver, and then all of a sudden I saw the police pull in. He pulled in behind him. And it looks like, he's doing a full DOT inspection. And we are sitting in the Walmart parking lot, y'all. And he's doing a DOT inspection on this brother. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to get my shit. Anyway, y'all, peace. Prayerfully, I don't have no issues. But yeah, he's doing a full DOT inspection on that Sierra England day cab. Because he had him open the hood. He had him do his lights. He put something underneath the back. Like he going to roll under there and check his brakes and stuff. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, y'all, peace.